All right, folks, we're back. It's Tuesday, 6 o'clock. It's a beautiful, nice day outside, but it's about to get hot up in here, folks. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather, West Coast Hip Hop, and this is how we do it. Dusty standing by, folks. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. You're about to be live with Lonzo, the Godfather, West Coast Hip Hop, from Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. This is how we do it. This is how it's done. If it ain't done by me, it won't be no fun, folks. Here we go. All right, my man Dusty's in the dugout. There he is. What's up with you, Dusty One?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing today, Lonzo?
You know what, dude? I'm one of them days, man, that you sometimes you wake up, you got business shit to do. You got no fun. It's one of them days, no fun stuff for me. This is the only thing I got to look forward to far as fun. I've been dealing with IRS and insurance companies and miscellaneous stuff, man. It's just one of them days. Somebody stole my.
I feel you, man.
Somebody stole the catalytic off one of my cars. Catalytic converter off one of my cars, man. And it's gonna cost me time and money to get this damn thing fixed. And it's amazing. The damn deductible is probably worth what he gonna get for the damn catalytic converter. I gave it to him, but it's gonna cost me this damn much money.
Dude, a couple people in my neighborhood got their stolen. What's the deal with the catalytic converter? I don't know nothing about cars. So what's the deal with that, and why does everyone want to steal these?
Certain model cars have a rare, not really rare, but have certain rare minerals in them. I think some of them might be platinum, but I'm not sure. I think it's platinum. And some cars have it more than others. I know Priuses, Hondas, and a few other cars all have a little bit higher level than the average car. I know they got my truck when it was in the shop about a year ago. But the newer cars, they don't have the same situation, so they don't have the same worry. But it's just a hassle, man, because you got to be on the phone, got to talk to the insurance adjuster, and they tell you how, they got to make an appointment to come out to their house, and then you got to find a mechanic to take it to the shop. Anyway, man, that's my problem. There's some asshole decided to file taxes in my name, so I've been dealing with the tax. Yeah.
Damn.
File taxes in my name, and the IRS sent me a letter. They don't look right. We need you to do this right here, blah, blah, blah. So I had to deal with that for like an hour and a half. It was just, man, just kind of kicks you in the nuts. Anyway, man, let's get the show.
Yeah, well, let's jump into it, man. Let's definitely get your mind off everything for an hour. I guess the biggest news story over the past couple of days in the hip-hop world is popular rapper Trouble out of Atlanta was involved in a love triangle and shot by a jealous boyfriend. I'll break it down for you, Lonzo, since I know we talked and you haven't heard about it, but it is a big story right now. The story is allegedly Trouble was on the late night creep, with a female who was in a relationship already. He fell asleep at her house in her bed and woke up to her boyfriend of 3 years beating up on the female. Trouble intervenes, starts fighting the guy. A gun was pulled and Trouble was killed on the scene. Another senseless murder. Maybe you could talk to these kids, Lonzo. This is going to be probably a grown-ass man enlightenment show tonight, because talk to these dudes about females, man, and how you should really be careful who you're sticking your dick in, and people are in relationships and shit.
If it ain't rape, it ain't his fault, okay? You don't know what the situation was. You mad at him. Obviously, he was comfortable. He fell asleep at the house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, they were banging. They were definitely banging. It was known that they was doing it.
What I'm saying is, if he's at her house and that comfortable, he can go to sleep butt ass naked. That means it ain't rape. You mad at the wrong person, bro. You mad at the wrong person. Okay, you just messed yours off for the wrong person, because you going to the penitentiary. She gonna find somebody else to hit. Okay, ain't no winning. The best thing you could have did was got your shit, got out of there, and left it alone, and took your tears someplace and cried, and go about your life, man. Because that right there, that one right there, you ain't got. There's no win for you. There's no win. You might get out of jail early for heat of passion, but shit, that's still gonna cost you 7 years and a bunch of money. So you ain't no winning. Ain't no winning. If you came in there and he was doing something to her and she was screaming, you might have action. Ain't no action. Yeah,
and the cold part is she's gonna continue to pipe down dudes while he will be spending the rest of his life possibly behind bars.
Yeah, you defending her honor? You wasn't defending her honor. That ain't the case. You're not defending her honor. That's not out. That's out. So you just mad because somebody else is dipping in your Kool-Aid? Yeah, I understand how you feel, but see, this is where it happened. That split second of irrationality kicks in and changes your life forever. That split second, okay? That split second. It changes, like, hey man, it happens to people every day. That one second decision. Because I know sometimes, but back in the day, man. Well, that's happened recently. I had a colonoscopy, right? This is way off. It's gonna sound like it's off subject, but I'm gonna tell you why they do what they do. They gave me something that was so relaxing. Okay, they said you could drive, but we don't recommend it. In fact, we suggest you get somebody to come pick you up. Now, I was perfectly coherent, but the drug had all my what you call that? My reservations, all reservations were done. I'm driving home with my old lady, and somebody did something stupid. I thought about if I was driving, I'd run him off the road. Okay, I'd have ran him off the road. Okay, because the drug had me feeling that good. I didn't give a damn. Okay, now I know that sounds a little bit off kilter, but on the same token, because of that drug, I could have changed my whole life. And this is why This is why people ask me. I went to a party Saturday. I don't drink at parties. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I realized that little situation, a situation like that, the slightest, any alcohol can cause you an issue. Okay, and I'm too old to be trying to fight a 502. So yes, folks, you have to be in control of your emotions at all times. You have to be in control. And a lot of guys are sitting in jail because they was high, did some stuff that they wouldn't have did if they were sober, and caught themselves a nice little fat ass case. I was talking to a friend of mine, works at a club just before I got on the show. She works at a club I used to work at. She said everybody was kicking it for a while. Alcohol got to flowing before they realized it. Everybody was fighting. Okay, so when you and that's what alcohol does. That's why cats start dancing that normally wouldn't dance. Women start doing hoochie shit they normally wouldn't do. Because alcohol, drugs, whatever the case may be, causes you to lose your inhibition. That's what I'm looking for, inhibitions. And once the inhibitions are gone, now you're going to respond in ways you normally wouldn't do. You wake up, oh my God, what did I do? Yeah, okay. Why I got this thing in my mouth? Okay. Who this belong to?
So, who dick is this? I think Martin said that. Who dick is this?
Why you do that to me? And then nowadays, she can cry rape right after that. Y'all could be everybody drunk together. She can cry rape the next morning, and you finna go to jail.
Oh, dude, men, listen. If you're young right now, please listen to what Lonzo just said, dude. Be very careful with who you are having intercourse with when both of you are under alcohol and weed and things like that, dude. Because she can literally wake up tomorrow and she may have a boyfriend or something. She's like, oh no, I didn't mean he raped me, and that next thing you know, you're spending time in jail. Please, I tell my son this all the time. Please be careful who you stick your penis inside of, especially when alcohol and weed is involved.
I just heard the story the other day about Drake. Drake was dating some Instagram model chick, and he had a habit of putting hot sauce in the condom after he got through with it. Homegirl gonna try and get pregnant. She put the hot sauce with the condom in her. And,
that's been an old trick, yeah.
Yeah. And he must have used that good hot sauce because she had some internal damage, and she wanted to sue. Nobody told you to put that hot sauce, that shit. But see, this is the kind of shit people. Things are going so crazy these days, man. I'm on the internet right before you come on the show. I forgot to state, but it's a guy that identified as a woman got sentenced to life in a women's prison. While he was in jail, he got 2 females pregnant. You hear that? You didn't hear that, did you? You missed the last one, didn't you? I said I was watching.
Take it back. I heard 2 females pregnant. Take it back.
I was just looking at it on the show. A guy who identified as female, fully, got all the body parts as a male, but identified as a female, got sentenced to life in prison in a female jail. While he's in jail, he got 2 female prisoners pregnant. Okay.
I read that too.
Okay. So it's like they trying to erase all the lines.
Crazy.
And I'm like, huh? You would think, okay, identify, but hey, I still got the plumbing. No matter how, if you put a Mustang engine in a Chevy, is it a Mustang or a Chevy? If you put a Mustang engine,
that's a great question.
Chevy, okay. I like cars. If you put a General Motors car in a Cadillac, it's still a Cadillac. If you put a Mustang, a Ford engine in a Chevrolet, is it still a Chevrolet?
It's still a Chevy.
Okay. Anyway, man, dude, you got to be careful because not only chicks, because a lot of times the females do stuff. Get caught, set your ass up. Oh, he just broke in, but he's up in the sleep. But you so mad, you want to believe anything she say. You just don't want to believe that she would do that to you. Okay, next thing you know, you find yourself caught up. Okay,
man.
I see my man Craig.
And shout out to Schweisinger. I love saying that name for some reason. Schweisinger.
I've been knowing Craig for 30 years. I still be fighting with that name sometimes.
Schlesinger. I think you took call him Schlesinger. I'm like, I don't know if that's his real name, but
Schweisinger. I can say it, but I got to focus. Schweisinger. Okay. My man,
love it.
Raider guy, Marlon in the house. Much love to everybody in the chat room.
Yeah, man.
Mike CMW.
You know what?
Rashad, what's up with you folks? Talk to me.
Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button, please, and definitely hit that notification if you haven't already. But I think it was you, Lonzo. If it wasn't, forgive me. But I think you have a theory that, going back to emotions and how these dudes are emotional now, and this crime was probably built on emotion. But I think you have a theory that this weed that we're smoking nowadays has a lot to do with our emotion, with kids' emotions nowadays, right? Did you say something like that in the past?
I said the weed and a lot of the drugs that people take when they're kids, Ritalin, Adderall, things like that. One of the byproducts of Ritalin is it'll tell you, it gives you thoughts of suicide. Okay. And they'll tell you if your kid have thoughts of suicide, blah, 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 blah. You might want to call a physician, see doctor's attention. Well, if it'll give you thoughts of suicide, why wouldn't it give you thoughts of homicide? Okay. I'm just saying, okay. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. But if I'm thinking about killing me, why would I think about killing you? It'd be a lot easier. So when you have the level of drugs, kids are being drugged as opposed to being disciplined.
Correct.
Okay. Drugs are a form of discipline these days. When they took all the corporal punishment out of the schools, out of the household, they replaced a lot of that shit with drugs. Okay? Because I tell you what, a good ass whooping changes a whole lot of stuff. You get you to sit down, wash the dishes.
Thank you.
Pick up the dog shit. A good ass whooping.
I only had to whip Yeah. I've only had to whip my son one time in his whole life, and he's been a great kid. I've only had to whip my son one time his whole life. He's been a great kid ever since.
I got my youngest boy about 3 times. And he was once when he was a baby. And when he got a little bit bigger, about 12, he did some dumb stuff. I had to put the fear of God in him. Great kid ever since. No drugs, no nothing. Great kid. His daddy would tear off in his ass. And I had to do it no more. Okay. That gives you a memory, okay? That's like anything else. Okay? When you have a bad experience, you don't want to experience no more. So you do things not to experience that experience again. Simple as that. It's just common nature. But again, there ain't no money in ass whoopings.
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're an old school player, so I would love your opinion on this because a lot of this generation, and including myself, towards the end of my parenting life, I was not big into spanking. You know what I mean? Or I wasn't big into. Basically, my point is, where do you think you draw the line, Lonzo? Because when I was coming up, my mom whipped the hell out of me, and it was abuse. You know what I mean? It was abuse. Like I had, and I'm sure the same with you. You know what I mean? But where would you draw the line nowadays? You know what I mean? Like how? Because some people believe you shouldn't hit them at all, but then some people think you should go crazy and just hit them with irons and all that.
Nah, I think anything. See, we need to have whooping pants, okay? With a look like between the ass and the thigh, okay? And this is the area in which you can apply this particular item, whether it be a belt, whatever the case may be. Because anything else can become abusive real quick. All that back shit and the legs on the girls that can leave scars for a long time. But that ass, working with that ass, okay, that is the fattest part of your body, and especially for kids, that's like the fattest part of your body. And if anybody sees that other than your mama or your daddy, there's a problem anyway. Okay, there's a problem. So if you found a way to control the narrative between the lower back and the upper thigh, right there in the juicy part of the butt, and I went to Catholic school, okay? I went to Catholic school, and in Catholic school, they beat our ass. We had reading, writing, and ass whooping 101, okay? They would literally whoop your ass at school. They didn't give a damn, okay? Your parents, at first, they just did it automatically. By the time I got to the 4th and 5th grade, you had to get a permission slip to get an ass whooping. My mama signed it. That was whoop his ass if he don't even call me. But they had a thing. They only could do certain parts. They had to get you bent over and up on your butt. Same thing at Vanguard. And I left St. Albert's with the Vanguard. Same thing. Touch your toes. Take it to the ass. Take 10 to the ass from the vice principal, Mr. Crow. And he wasn't a big dude. Now, I tell you who Mr. Crow reminded me of. You never seen Craig Schweissinger. He reminded me of Craig, okay? About the same height, but Craig got big-ass Popeye forearms, okay? He got them big-ass Popeye forearms. I know if he hit a tennis ball or something like that, he going to take it to the next court. Same thing with a paddle, okay? If you're coming back here and you got that wrist action on the right thing, 10, you can't take 10. You can't take 10. And if you pop up, for every time you pop up, you get 2 more. Now, you might end up with 12 or 14, 16. Okay? Unless you just get tired. But that was the deal. You had to bend over, grab your ankles, take 10 to the butt. Okay? My mama did the same thing. She whooped us on our ass. So now if you running and trying to get away and the belt get away and get hit across the back like that slave trip, that's a whole different thing. But
Art,
was.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, Art had a good question. You could ask after you finish your sentence. He says, did you ever experience having a nun slap your hands with a ruler? That was common when he went to Catholic school. He said.
Negro, that's like the pee-pee dance. That's like the pee-pee dance magnified. Because your hand is right here, okay? And they lighten your ass up with that ruler, and don't let them get the pointer. The pointer lights your ass up. Yes, Art, I got my hand. That was usually for the girls. And it was, if you were younger, they did you in the hand, okay, with that ruler. They had them nice thick ass rulers. I think it was made out of pine or some shit. Them some bitches was big, and sometimes they would get you with the pointer, the little wooden pointers, and them some bitches, no joke. Okay, now you standing there, she got your hand, you ain't going nowhere, and she lighting your ass up, and you dancing and crying at the same damn time. And all you can do is go back to your damn chair and shake your hand. Yes, I've had the hand. Man, don't give me no flashbacks. Shit.
Oh, damn. You know what? Speaking of flashbacks, tell us that story again about when the class had to make their own whipping paddles.
In the 5th grade, I was in the works class at St. Albert's. And we had a thing. We got so smart. If we wanted to avoid a pop-up test, we started asking questions. They got hip to the shit. So we would do dumb stuff, and we just was bad. We just was some bad kids. And first they started bringing in nuns to break the class down. And we was breaking paddles. They was breaking paddles. So they had a contest. Whoever made the best paddle would not get a whooping for 2 weeks, a spanking, a swatting for 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm at home. My daddy let me work with tools and stuff. And I'm in the backyard. I'm trying to saw. I'm working with hand saws now. I got me some shit. What you doing? I'm making a paddle. For what? He says, well, man. He says, I think they got a contest at school. Whoever make the best paddle don't get swatted for 2 weeks. What happened after the second week? I said, oh, damn, you're right. And sure enough, the winner of the contest got his ass beat with his own paddle. Okay, that's no lie. He made a paddle. He took a paddle ball paddle, put some tape around the handle, and drilled holes in it. Okay, it did not break. Tore his ass up. Okay, true story.
Damn, love that story, man. That's a favorite. Rashard, literally after I said that, Rashard hit submit. So Rashard was reading my mind about that paddle story. That's a Lonzo classic right there. You said something about Jay Prince and WAC 100. Maybe people in the chat also can hit us to what's going on. But I was scrolling right before the show, and there's something going on with Jay Prince and WAC 100, right?
Jay Prince was on a $1 million game.
$1 million worth of game. $1 million worth of games.
Yeah, podcast, and he was just saying that he ain't got no love for what some of the things that he's been saying about I made notes. Tupac, Master P, Nipsey Hussle, and he called him. He said he over there with rats. They called him Rat 100 or something like that. And he said he want all the smoke. He said he ain't feeling him. Okay, he ain't feeling him, and that's not a good look. That ain't a good look. That's the one dude that I know Suge did not want no smoke with. None. Okay.
Facts.
No. Oh, you big black. Jay Prince ain't no big dude. He just when he moved, he moved. He remind me of Paulie from Goodfellas. Okay. You don't see him you don't see a whole lot. When he says something, shit happen. So I don't know him. One of my friends actually is his cousin. I've been trying to meet him. Haven't met him yet, but it's just his reputation precedes him. Okay. His reputation precedes him, and what can you say? I don't think that's a good position. I just find it amazing that so much of our dirty laundry is everybody else's entertainment.
Man, speak on that.
I just find it amazing that our dirty laundry is everybody else's entertainment, whether it be rap, podcasts. We spend a lot of time dissing each other, not informing each other. We got some great platforms we never had before, and we use them. For the most part, we use them to diss each other as opposed to inform each other. And that I don't understand that. I mean, yeah, it gets you some numbers, but again, all numbers ain't good numbers. Okay.
I just did a video of this morning, Lonzo. That's so crazy you're talking about this.
All numbers ain't good numbers. I mean, people slow down and watch a car wreck too, but somebody got to die. Okay. So it's just for me. And again, dude, this is probably why I'm not as popular as I should be. From some people feel, because I've always had a different viewpoint when I sit back and watch, and because I don't always jump into shit. And when you sit back and you watch and understand the whole scenario, all the possible scenarios going down with the situation, I don't think I want to deal with this right here. Okay. And I get invited to some events. I'm not going to go to some. I'm not going to everything I get invited to. I'm not. Okay. Who, where? Nah, that's okay. And it's not because I'm better than nobody else. It's just sometimes some situations lend themselves to be a little bit, but have more potential for bullshit. Just like it's like being an insurance guy. Okay. You gonna open a club where? Yeah, I'm not insured that one right there. Okay. I'm not putting the company's money on that right there. It's too much of a possibility. Something derogatory is gonna happen. It's gonna be a major claim. So yeah, that's just how I roll. But it's just, again, that comes from a lot more experience from being just an older dude in the game. I've seen so much shit, it's ridiculous. And after a while, when you see so much, you start seeing the signs of potential bullshit, and you learn to duck out the way.
Yeah. I love your train of thought, man, because I see people, your age on YouTube, and it's a shame the way they still have a mentality. They're still pushing that negative stuff. They're still bragging about what they did 35 years ago. It's a trip, man. We need more dudes like you. And those are the ones that are getting the 50,000, 70,000, 80,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it works, but don't work for me.
Yeah, it's a good one right here. Crypto Charles, let's jump into this question. Lonzo, he says, Lonzo Dusty, I've been seeing a lot of conspiracy ritual videos relating to the music industry and artists giving up their soul, i.e., Hollywood parties, doing gay stuff, to get popular. Thoughts? I'll let you take the floor, Lonzo. You've been around in the music. You know way more about the music biz than I do.
When you go into situations and you see certain things, and you get it, it's open. It's hey, what you want to do? You want to be high? I'm cool. And that right there is like when you go to a party and they say you want to, you smoke? Yeah. You drink? Sure. I said, do you party? Now, okay.
Yeah, parties are different. Nah, nigga, I do not party, dog.
Party's a whole different thing. Okay. Party mean do you snort cocaine in most cases? Okay. Now, when that shit get in your system, and trust me, I know, okay, you start thinking other shit. Shit that you normally thought about, it ain't the same thing no more. Now, the situation where I did what I did, it wasn't in parties, okay? But when you in a certain circle, you can see where certain things get between all the different chemicals and all the and the vibe has changed so much. Some people just go with the flow. Some cats ain't got that tenacity to say, you know what, this ain't mine. I gotta go. Okay. Some cats don't do that. Some people want it that bad. Whatever is gonna get me there, I'm gonna ride that bus. Whatever it's gonna get, whatever vehicle is gonna get me there. For me to be on my knees, on all fours, bent over, whatever. Okay. And that's unfortunately how the game goes. You know, in so many different ways. And Hollywood is notorious for it. People are just now starting to see the residuals from some of the things that happened in the movie industry. That's why Harvey Weinstein is doing 27 years. He had girls doing all kinds of stuff. R. Kelly don't know how many years he gonna get. People do things, and it's not so much Illuminati. It's just that people will compromise their own beliefs to be around certain people or be in certain circles because they're under the impression that that's where they need to be. And what's it gonna take for me to be here? I can't sing, I can't play no instruments. What can I do? Oh, I can get on my knees and perform this act. Okay, cool, I can do this. I do it anyway. Hey, not me, but I'm just saying. So it's like now that becomes your lane. That becomes your lane. And as soon as you want to get out of that lane, they'll find somebody else to fill it. And that's real talk.
Damn, dude. You know what? You reminded me of an old interview that I saw with Shirley Temple. The interview was from the mid to late 70s, right?
Right.
And she was talking, you know, everyone knows Shirley Temple, little girl, used to dress with the little skirt and everything. She was telling a story on the 70s talk show about how they went to MGM to try to get her a contract negotiation, things like that. And one of the heads of MGM, which is one of the biggest movie companies in the world, propositioned her mother to try to have sex with Shirley Temple. And Shirley Temple was a little girl, 11, 12, whatever the case was. So this shit's been going on behind the scenes for a very, very long time with some of the biggest companies that we probably still support to this day. It's a trip.
I saw Drew Barrymore's story. Drew Barrymore was talking about at 10 years old, she was in Studio 54 drinking and hanging out. 10.
Crazy.
Okay, but she did Firestarter. I think it was one of her first big movies was Firestarter. She's 10 years old hanging out in Studio 54.
Wow.
Doing what everybody else do. Okay, she said this. I ain't listening to I heard it out of her mouth. Okay, so when you see this kind of stuff, and that's just, you know, because some people will let you do whatever you want to do to be around you. Okay, and that's just, you know, people will compromise everything they believe in to be in your circle. Perfect example. Most of the artists that have passed, well, R. Kelly is probably the best example. We were talking about just the other day, and we were saying how people was bringing, you know, everybody was cool until it wasn't cool no more. Auntie was bringing their nieces over there. Sisters was bringing their sisters over there, their cousins, whatever. I heard a couple dads but I didn't, it wasn't like the dads was doing it themselves. Dads came looking for their daughters. Mom was introducing folks to folks, and once the gravy train stopped, everybody became a victim. While it was rolling, everybody was participating. But as soon as
hence Bill Cosby.
Yeah, Bill Cosby, they still on his ass for something happened in 1975.
Man, I'm telling you, most of them were with it back then.
47 years ago. Wait, and the crazy part about that is, if he met the girl at the Playboy Mansion, how come your husband ain't being indicted? If you met the girl at the Playboy Mansion, how come you have to name ain't even in this shit nowhere? If you brought a girl to the Playboy Mansion that was underage, it was a huge responsibility to get you and her out of there. Okay.
Thank you. Just like if someone came to your house and they brought an underage girl, and you better get the fuck out of here.
If you're a club owner, if you're a restaurant owner, and somebody over 21 is giving somebody under 21 alcohol, you have a responsibility to get both of them out of there or call the police. So if Bill Cosby, if he met her there, why was she there? If he brought her there, why nobody said that to just now? Why? Because you dead now? I've been watching that Playboy shit. That wasn't no Disneyland. That was some real pimping. That was some real pimping. Okay? He did the same thing in some cases that R. Kelly did. Now everybody was telling on you after he died. He had just as many crazy ass rules. You couldn't leave the compound. You couldn't do this. You had to go talk to this person. We're gonna take pictures of you, put you on all over the world. We're gonna give you $2,500 over a period of time, and you get no residuals after that. Okay, it was really pimping. So, and he built the empire off of that. So when you see that, but you see R. Kelly looking like he's gonna rot the rest of his days in jail for doing some stuff that and he did it. And I'm not defending him whatsoever. I'm just saying where the balance at. Where the balance? If you can go after Bill Cosby for something that happened 47 years ago, 1975, I was in high school. My daughter was born in 1975. Her birthday, she'll be 47 on her birthday. That's how I know how many years it is. All right. So if you can go after him, and I mean, now it's just looking like harassment. Now you went after him, you got him, you let him go. Now you're going back for some more shit. Come on, man. I know the statute of limitations on that is over with. Got to be. The statute of limitations, 47 years. The only thing that don't have a statute of limitations is kidnap and murder. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you didn't kidnap that girl or murder that girl, let it go. Okay.
Yeah.
Because without a Viagra drip, he ain't no use to no harming nobody right now.
Damn, dude. Do you believe there is a secret society or Illuminati, for lack of better words?
I do. I watch all kind of stuff. I like watching all kind of stuff, and I ain't gonna sit here and say this on YouTube, but there is some other things going on that we ain't privy to. That's for damn sure. There's a lot of things going on that we're not privy to. Why this gas is almost $7 a gallon for a war in that we're gonna do it? That's ridiculous.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Why there's a baby formula shortage? Come on, man. People in power make things happen. It was a reason why they had the fair trade. Was it a fair trade agreement? Was it something like it was a fair trade agreement to keep competition amongst the corporations? There was I think it was a fair trade doctrine or something to that effect, where the corporations could not get together and have and do price fixing and stuff like that. In fact, Levi Strauss, I remember that distinctively. They were accused of
Fair Pricing Act. Fair Pricing Act.
Because Levi's was the same price everywhere. Okay, you couldn't sell a pair of Levi's for less than a certain amount of money, and they got caught up for that, and they got sued. They had to go to court. Blah blah blah. Same thing here. Okay, back in the day, I remember distinctively growing up in Compton, on the corner of Avalon and El Segundo, where the Eve After Dark sits. There used to be 4 gas stations on each corner. 4 gas stations, one on each corner. and they would compete for your business. Okay, one would drop the prices. One would give you discounts on cigarettes. Other one would give you full service. The other one would give you extra blue chip stamps, depending on whatever it is. One of them had S&H green stamps. One had blue chip stamps. You get double your stamps to come over here. And gas back then was shit, 30 something cents a gallon. Maybe 29 cents a gallon. But when Reagan came in, Reagan killed all that. He also they also killed the FCC rule that prevented multiple corporations from owning various types of advertising services. You can only own so many radio stations and so many TV stations. You couldn't just own everything. So now, when that went away, everybody, all the mom and pop stations got bought up by the corporations. Because used to be a time there was two record industries. There was the independent and there was the majors. We came up in the independents. We jumped into the majors for a while, but we came back down to the independents. Okay, and that was because you had what they call P1, P2 stations, and the stations would allow you. You couldn't get on. P1 was like Kiss FM in LA. That was like out of the question. K-Day was a P1, but it was a friendly P1. KGLH was a P2. It was an independent station, and this is how they kept balance and competition amongst competitors, and people benefited from that because you get benefits. People would compete for your business. Ain't no competing for your business now. You got me. You ain't got nobody else. This is what I want for it. Fuck you. Like they say on Goodfellas. Fuck you. Pay me. You want some gas? Fuck you. Pay me. Okay. It's $6.50 a gallon. Fuck you. Pay me. Rushing the water. If the work stops, it's still gonna be $5 a gallon. Fuck you. Pay me. Okay. When they raise it up so high, when it come back down and they get to $5, we're gonna be happy.
We're gonna be happy. Yes.
Oh my God, it's only $5 now. Whoa. Woo. Oh, it was $3.40. It was $3.49 before it went up, but now it's $5. We happy as hell because it ain't $6 no more. But trust me,
slaves.
Time it will be $6.
Man.
It will.
The game. And the sad thing about like how you mentioned the radio stations, now like 3 radio companies own all the radio stations in America. And once that happened, that's why every radio station's playing the same shit. Like radio became so watered down. Am I correct in saying that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why there's no balance in hip hop right now. That you think the only hip hop artists all make the same kind of crap? No.
Exactly.
But they only let you hear a certain kind of crap. Okay? It's like food. There are a lot of good restaurants, but McDonald's got the market saturated with all the good spots. McDonald's is everywhere. So even if there are good spots, other places that sell healthier food, you got to find them. If you don't know where they are, you ain't gonna find them. But I tell you what, it's easy to find this McDonald's stuff on a regular basis. So hey, let's pull over there, feed the kids just right here, as opposed to looking for a healthier alternative. And there are, I don't know if maybe there are, don't hold me to this, but I have not seen a chain healthier alternative than McDonald's. You would think by now somebody would have a hell of a Mac turkey burger. Okay, you think by now somebody would have a hell of a Mac turkey burger or a Jack in the Box or somebody. But they all work together. If you look at PepsiCo, PepsiCo's downline, as far as ownership between PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, and Nestle, shit, you done. If you look at those 3 companies and see who all they own, you can't get away from them. Especially Nestle. Nestle own more shit than you really have. You have no idea how much stuff Nestle owns.
Yep.
Okay. So my man Mark Adams said Clearwater.
He meant Clear State, Clear Channel.
Clear Channel.
Yeah.
Clear Channel. So you're right, because Clear Channel owns radio stations, they own billboards, they own television stations, and they own venues. When they start owning the venues, because now even if you are an artist, and they can break the artist and they can put you to work. So you got to play the game that they give you. They own all the parts that you need, You might get to play a little small venue. You ain't gonna play. You're not gonna play the Forum. You ain't gonna play up in SoFi. You ain't gonna play nothing significant. Madison Square Garden, because they are owned by major corporations that are also in partnership with the radio station, if not owned by them. And if you're not of a certain level, then they don't do low level shit. If you ain't Drake or Lil Wayne or Beyonce or somebody, you're not gonna get. You might get, I don't know, a 3,000 seater, but you ain't gonna get no major concerts. Where the money is.
And here's another layer to that. If you piss somebody off or you upset any group, one sort of group out there, you're going to get banned from all the radio stations and because they own everything.
Right. So here we are. It used to be a time if you pissed off the big boys, you could always come back home. Okay. Ain't no home to come back to. Ain't no home to come back to.
Yep. Art asked, and I pretty much know this one, Art. Lonzo, back in the day, a lot of artists had radio play on college radio stations, underground. Does that still occur? It does still occur, but just on an internet level. The radio dial is dead. I mean, every radio is pretty much dead. It's right. Everything's online.
Phone, what they say? TV killed the radio, and the internet cut the television throat.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. TV killed the radio, and the internet cut the television throat. Same thing.
I bet you if you ask the average 15-year-old right now to go to the car and put in 105.9, they would have no idea what I'm talking about.
None whatsoever. They've taken away. They've given you so much freedom, you don't know where to go. You have no map. You have so many TV channels right now. I have a TV channel. When you have so many TV channels, you have so many different radio stations. Everybody got a podcast. People are starting podcasts every day. Everybody's competing for your attention. Everybody, including me, to get advertised. I don't advertise nothing other than my stuff, but for the most part, everybody wants your attention. And you'll I find myself sometimes. I got a TV on, I got this phone in my hand, and I might even have my Alexa on in the background. That's how crazy I can get sometimes. Okay?
Gemini, baby, Gemini.
TV on, scrolling through Facebook, and Alexa's in the background. Okay? Okay.
Yep. I don't like quiet. That's so weird. Well, when I want it. When I want quiet, I want it. But for the most part, I need talk radio or something in the back.
My lady gets mad as hell. But why you got so much stuff on? Because that's what I do. And she don't understand it. I can hear. I know everything. Everything is going on. I may not quote it. I can't quote it word for word, but I can tell you what the subject matter is on everything. Okay. What can I tell you? I'm weird like that.
Yep. Yeah, I remember going back to radio really quick. I remember when I realized radio was dead. This was some time back when YouTube kind of first came out. But I remember I was listening to a popular radio station in LA, and the host was like, after this commercial break, we're going to have such and such's new song coming up. Never heard before, such and such song. And I was like, dude, I literally just heard that on YouTube about 30 minutes ago. And here you are telling me that never before heard. So that's when I was like, damn, radio's dead, man. Something that I grew up loving is dead. And now it's this. Now it's YouTube. Now it's podcasts. And it is what it is.
I used to, I realized radio was dead when I was at the Hollywood Park Casino. And I would give KGLH $1,000 a week to advertise my club. Okay. I would give them a check on Friday for $1,000 to do the promotion and the advertising. Before the check hit the bank Monday morning, I'd already made $3,000 or $4,000. Before they cashed it, I'd made $3,000 or $4,000. I did that for about 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden, it stopped working. And people start talking about Facebook. And I'm like, Facebook? What the hell is that? And I heard about it, I saw it, but I didn't realize it was a source of advertising. By the time I got to Avalon, back to Avalon in 2008, KGLH was I tried to buy advertising, no good. Didn't mean no good whatsoever. I would actually buy advertising only on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'd buy 2 commercials. About 3 commercials on Steve Harvey's show, about 4 commercials, so 2 on Friday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and maybe 1 in Tammy Mack. And those things, it cost me $1,000. It was getting $200 a spot. Okay. And that shit worked because that was the hottest show in Los Angeles. Steve, because everybody wanted to hear the Strawberry Letter. I paid the extra money to make sure they were doing the Strawberry Letter. Okay. And it worked. I hear my commercials every morning taking my kids to school. By the time I got home from my dropping the kids off, my phone was lit up. People booking parties. And I did that a couple times and it didn't work no more. And it was like, wow. And I started doing some investigating. And that's when I realized social media was moving in. And by the time I got back to Avalano Segundo, social media took over. Radio, I bought radio a couple of times at last year when I was at the French Quarters. But it was just a donation to KD Legends Fund.
Man. Yes, people are asking some good questions. Do y'all think Howard Stern killed radio when he went digital? Yeah, I personally do. Howard Stern was a big draw even here in LA on 97.1 FM all over the country. And when he went digital, yeah. And the sad thing is, and Lonzo, I wonder if you know or if you've heard this before, but I heard a lot of radio people in music, everything said when Janet Jackson's titty popped out, that changed everything. Censorship went through the roof.
Yeah, and see, Howard Stern been breaking the rules for a long time. He is the most heavily fined radio personality of all times. Okay, he got like $500,000 worth of fines, and
2 million. Yep.
Okay, when they offered me a deal, because Sirius FM, it wasn't Sirius.
Sirius XM. It was Sirius. It was just Sirius, and then they merged.
They had two of them, right? It was XM and
yeah,
Sirius.
So it was, yeah, and then they ended up merging, yeah.
Right. That shit was $20-something a month, and who was gonna pay for radio? And when he moved over to that channel, to that platform, and was able to do his show the way he wanted to do his show, that changed everything. That's why I can do my show the way I want to do my show right now because of the internet. I mean, I don't cuss as much as I used to. I still cuss. I don't cuss as much as I used to because I realize I'm limiting myself on certain advertisers. But his advertisers, like Samuel L. Jackson's advertisers, is looking for him to cuss. They're looking for him to say stupid, crazy shit. And if he don't say crazy stuff, they're gonna swear he was cloned. So all that Baba Booey and the hookers and the slapping on the ass, whatever the case may he was doing, that worked. That was a perfect platform for it. And I'm just surprised I haven't seen more people like him on the radio. You know, I listened to Sirius XM. Urban View, and that's a black talk show channel, and they cuss on that channel. They cuss. I mean, they talk worse than I do, but it still ain't Howard Sternish. You know what I'm saying? They talk real facts, but they mean what the fuck, whatever the case may be. But Howard Stern, he goes in real deep on sexual situations.
Yeah, he was shoving baseball bats up girls' butts and all. Like he literally he was crazy.
Right. The stuff he does on radio, he can't do on TV. Okay. Even YouTube, like, oh man, I ain't fucking with you. I ain't messing with you, Howard. But yeah, he did definitely had a major impact, and he got a shitload of money for it, man.
500 million out the gate. 500 million.
But again, was he was doing the difference, and what I like about Howard, okay, he's always been himself no matter what. I just never met the black version of Howard Stern.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can't tell me ain't nobody else it came up with no Howard Stern type stuff. Closest person I can think to Howard Stern is Joe Rogan, and he don't.
Oh, now Howard Stern. Yeah, Joe Rogan is the new Johnny Carson. Everything, dude. He gets like crazy millions of views a day.
Right. I haven't seen anybody else do what he does, but yeah, I still have yet to meet the black equivalent.
Yeah. Breakfast Club is probably the biggest radio show if we're talking pure radio. Like people only tune into whatever it is, 105, whatever Hot FM in New York, but Breakfast Club is probably the biggest show, but even then, they're still not on the level that Howard Stern was on.
They still milk toast, and milk toast compared to Howard Stern. They only can do so much because they actually on the radio too. So they still on celestial radio. They do have a YouTube and a app or whatever, but they still have to watch what they say because they got to watch out for the FCC.
Ooh, Unknown Raider guy says, we need a West Coast radio station on Sirius Raw and Uncut. And I'm going to add to that, it needs to be hosted by Lonzo Williams and, of course, Dusty Vision in the background.
Well, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something, folks, just so y'all know. I just having an app built right now, okay? On my app, we're going to do a whole lot of crazy shit, trust me. It's called the Compton Chronicles. That's the app. I'm going to have a special lane, special part. I don't know what you call it yet. I don't know all the app terms yet. Special channel in the app for a lot of crazy shit. So that's a little bit different, folks.
Yes. And isn't that great that you don't even need to rely on Sirius XM or anything? You could probably get a bigger audience through your own app than you would on their station.
Yeah.
And you own it. And you own it. Most people don't. A lot of people don't know that if you're on radio, you don't own that content. Like, you actually own what you're doing right now.
I have to. Every show I do, I download it and save it on my computer. Because if YouTube is mad at me, they'll take them all away. You'll never know I existed.
Smart.
Every episode we do, I take it, download it to my computer, put it on a hard drive. Because if YouTube or somebody else, I don't like him anymore, take his channel away. And I'll just evaporate it with the like smoke in the sun in the wind. So yeah, you have to be aware of what you. That's why I use the app I use. That allows me to save my audio and my video. My video on all my shows. Everything I do, I download all of them and keep them on a hard drive. So yeah, if I go to.
I heard a YouTuber the other day say that he has 700 videos and they're all on his phone. I thought to myself, you are a dummy. What are you? This is your master. These are your masters.
Exactly.
Like, dude, and they're going to be good forever. Let's say you wanted to stop recording and you want to release them again in 5 years. I mean, you could do whatever you want with this audio and video. And if you have it on your phone and you lose your phone, you dummy, what are you going to do?
Only thing you save him if we had it on cloud. You
got cloud, right? But yeah,
you got to have a cloud account. There's 700. This is videos that's 2 minutes long. That's a lot of goddamn. That's a lot of space. Anyway, I ain't worried about it. He don't sound that smart no way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. After a while, man, when you get a little older, you stop talking to dumb people.
Man, it's so hard for me to communicate with dumb people. I'm in my head. I'm like, how can I get out of this conversation as soon as possible?
I just walk away. Hey, man, okay, cool. I just learned. I got to go, man. They're looking for me. Okay. Sometimes you just have to learn to walk away, because when you argue with a fool and somebody walk up and see two people arguing, they don't know which one is the fool. I don't want to be mistaken for the idiot. So yeah. All right.
Yep. Let's see. I got a few questions. Bo Woodson asked Alonzo, have you worked with any Bay Area artists?
Man, you know what? No artist per se. But I worked with the man who helped a lot of artists out. That's my boy Adrian Gregory. Nah, I did a lot of shows in the Bay Area. When I was doing shows in the Bay Area, everybody was still looking at me. They were still looking at us do our thing. I mean, and I finally met Too Short. I'm Lonzo. Oh man, bro, dude, I know who you are, man. I've been watching y'all. Y'all would come down to the Cow Palace, whatever we were playing up there, and watch y'all do y'all thing, man. Y'all was my inspiration. I had y'all stuff bumping in my trunks. I'd go down into the record store and buy this, buy that, and he knew exactly who I was. I never met him before. You know, I was thinking about that today, man. There's a show on TV right now I saw today, hosted by Grandmaster Class, called Origins of Hip Hop. Ain't nobody called and asked me shit. Okay? Ain't nobody called and asked me shit. And I saw it. I mean, it's a good show. Today they were talking about Fat Joe and Big Pun. Okay? Interesting show. A lot of stuff I did not know. Okay? But I'm trying to figure out. Again, it was A&E, so I presume it was based out of New York. But again, there is not. You don't hear from guys like Russell, myself. I ain't never seen an interview with Kool Herc in my life. I'd like to hear one. I've never seen the real forefathers, the people that believed in this shit, but nobody else did. Okay, what made you put your money on the pass line? I did not even an interview. It felt like an interview though. Me and Glasses Malone, he called me up Saturday with some questions. And I really like talking to this dude, man. He's the only person that asks just as good, if not better, sometimes questions than you do. Okay, he's the only dude.
I'll take that as a compliment.
That can compete with you on asking me the right questions. And we sat down. It was, man. He said, "Unc, I need 5 minutes." Next time I looked at my clock, it was 2 hours later. Okay,
wow.
to get me to do something, and they go away. I'm talking right now. Okay, he asked the right questions, and I'm gonna bring him on the show. We're gonna do something together because he's a true seeker of knowledge when it comes to West Coast hip hop. He said, "Where'd they come from, Unc?" I said, "Dude, they came from me. There was nobody. Nobody was doing this before me." And I know I can sound egotistical sometimes to some people. Man, you didn't do everything. I did a whole lot of shit though. Okay, and why this? Why that? When I was doing my shit, these cats was in junior high school. They don't know me like that. And because I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Because of the era in which I grew up, gangsters was a lot more real back then. They were a lot more real. They were true gangsters, not for money, for drugs. They were in it strictly for the thugism. Okay, putting in the cats from Pyru, they wasn't out trying to sell no dope. They was out representing their shit. Okay, and they were known to be, I ain't gonna say killers, I'm gonna say killers. Okay, so this is my understanding of what we're trying to embark on, and you want me to come follow behind y'all, 28 years old, y'all a bunch of kids, y'all 20 and younger. Easy was the oldest one, he might have been 21. Y'all, I'm 28, y'all 21. I'm going to hook up with y'all, and I know this ain't the crew to roll with from a street experience. And yes, they made money. Yes, they did a lot of things. But when you understand where my roots and where I come from in this shit, that was something you didn't play with. Okay, that was something you didn't play with. You didn't do that unless you did that. And if you would, my reason why I left school, it was a small situation that could have turned into something a lot more notorious, and I wasn't prepared to kill and die for that shit, man. And that's where people, the different generations, change up at. You got guys that are prepared to kill and die over the slightest shit. Over the slightest shit. I will kill and die over this name or this minute level of disrespect. And back then, I learned at an early age, sometimes you got to learn to walk away. Like I said before, I read Sun Tzu, The Art of War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you can't absolutely win the fight, walk away, retreat. Okay. And although my boy won the fight, we still had to retreat because we knew they was gonna come back. And that's the problem. We knew it wasn't gonna stop right there. So the best thing I can do is leave the facility, because if they see me again, my boy ain't there, they're gonna jump my ass. Okay? They might not stop with a simple ass whooping, because now my boy embarrassed one of their boys. Now they gotta re-up on their reputation. You can't do that. And over some bullshit, where you pop out motherfuckers going, nah, man, come on, dude. Come on. And this is the part that I try to stress to youngsters. Okay? No, I ain't got no billions. I'm all right. I can do this show every day. I ain't got to do a whole bunch more. Okay, I'm all right. But next week I'll be 65 years old.
Right.
Okay. Next week I'll be 65 fucking years old. A lot of cats ain't gonna make it past fucking 35, 40. Them numbers is getting hard to achieve in the hip hop game because folks is playing stupid ass games with their life. Well, if you are getting them numbers, are you getting them free? Did you learn your lesson early enough so that you can enjoy your money? It seems like and sometimes when these guys get blessed with a lick, they can't wait to find somebody to give it to. It's like they don't want the money. Like the money is tainted. I can't give it. Let me give it to let me give it to the purse man. Let me give it to the jeweler. Let me give it to the car man. Lease some cars, lease some houses, and get this image going. So as soon as I get in trouble, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no assets. Now, some of them do the older cat, E40, hell of a businessman. got nothing but love and respect. No, know him, got nothing but love and respect for him. Cube, nothing but love and respect for him. Some of these other cats that's getting this internet money, they respect it. They remind me of dope dealers. See, back in the day, dope dealers would love to just blow money as fast as they could. They lost respect for the money. Dope dealers, most of them, in most cases, did not respect the money that they got. They got it too easy. Wake up in the morning, take a piss. Oh, somebody hit you on the beeper. Oh, gonna bring you 10,000 for a couple of whatever it was at that time, a few ounces. Okay, for another phone call, a couple hours later, get another. Pick up another 1,500, 2,000, 10,000, whatever it may be. So you really, and then what you do all day? You go spend money at this restaurant. You try and live this lifestyle. Meanwhile, you looking over your back, looking over your shoulder the whole time.
Yep.
And you can't trust nobody. Can't trust nobody. Can't trust your girl, your homies. Can't trust nobody. And eventually, you get caught up. And most cats, when I was watching BMF, they was my man was saying we go and take this deal. We can get a deal for 20 years. Who the fuck want that shit?
Man,
we can get a deal for 20, man. We can get a deal for 20. Dude, you balled out for 10, so you can get a deal for 20. Man, anyway, man, we out of time.
Not my game, dude. Not my game. But Lonzo, this was a lot of game that you spit tonight. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you exit the building, and definitely subscribe. Shout out to Marlon Cozy, Unknown Raider Guy, Art Chavez, Saidborn 303, Crypto Charles, Mike Adams. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Any last words, Lonzo?
Man, my Father's Day event comes up June 18th at the Dollar High Center in Compton. My golf tournament's going down at Monday at 20th in Lakewood Country Club. The next day, I'll be over at Magic Johnson Park in LA with the Five Keys organization. We having a big job fair for folks getting out of the system. It's a reentry organization, and right behind that, we're doing the car show in Compton for 4th of July. So I'm a busy dude right now, man. And my documentaries. One of them about to be finished. Somebody about to finish the guy. I got 3 documentaries. Somebody got to finish one of them motherfuckers quick. I'm tired of waiting. Okay. So, hey, folks,
nice.
How we gonna do this? I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I'm gonna have a digital screening or what, but I got to figure out a way to get my documentary seen but not passed around till we get an actual deal for it. But
okay, we could do that. I know a way to do that. We'll talk offline.
All right, folks. In the meantime, man, much love for y'all watching. Appreciate it, Dusty. Always nothing but love for you, Doc. And from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, from Eve After Dark to Concerts in the Park. This is how we do it. This is how it's done. Every time we do it, it got to be fun. We out of here, folks. Peace.